Hi garden friend, my garden is a hot mess, and in this video I'm going to show you what I plan on doing about it. I'm going to walk you through what actually needs to be done right now, what stays messy here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and what I'm planting before winter arrives. So if you're ready, let's go, shall we? Here's one of my flower beds in its current situation. We've had a stormy beginning of November, but look, there's still some zinnias blooming. Can you believe it? But as I pan around this small bed here, there are some signs that things are going to be just fine. Whoopsie, this fell over too. Every November, my garden goes through what I call its honest phase. The blooms fade, the foliage flops, and what's left is structure, texture, and habitat. It's not perfect, and it's not supposed to be. This is when the garden shifts into maintenance mode. It's still alive, still beautiful in its own way, and it's still doing a lot of unseen work beneath the surface. And honestly, it's the season that teaches you to let go a little. You might be surprised at how much life there's still in the garden, especially this time of the year. Ornamental grasses like miscanthus and blonde ambition, or even carex, are at their best, even after the first frost. Their seed heads feed birds, catch every bit of soft light we can possibly get. Evergreen shrubs like this camellia or mahonia keep the structure strong when everything else fades. Mahonia, especially with its yellow blooms, are one of the last nectar sources for pollinators heading into winter. Even the seed heads from perennials like sedum autumn joy or rudbeckia, they're absolutely worth keeping. They add texture, feed wildlife, and remind you that your garden's still alive, but it's just resting. These beautiful pearly everlasting are a great choice for birds and pollinators during this time of year too. They're absolutely gorgeous, and the birds and bees love them. Believe it or not, November is still a planting month in much of the beautiful Pacific Northwest. As long as the soil isn't frozen, trees, shrubs, and hardy perennials can all go into the ground now. Their roots keep growing quietly through winter, giving you a stronger start in the spring. I'm still planting tulips and allium bulbs, and I like to add a little bulb food or bone meal as I go. It's also a great time to divide large perennials like daylilies or hostas, and then you can move them where they'll get more space next year. And don't forget your soil. If you've got bare spots, spread a layer of compost or mulch. It keeps soil life active, helps with drainage, and protects the roots underneath. November is also a good time for quiet, thoughtful maintenance. Cut back anything with mold or disease, but leave the strong stems standing. Top off containers with fresh potting mix or mulch garden beds to keep moisture even. And take a minute to label your new bulbs or plantings. In spring, when things start to pop up again, you'll be glad you did. Here's why I don't rush to tidy everything up in fall. The insects and pollinators need this more than I do right now. Many native bees overwinter inside hollow stems. Ladybugs and butterflies take shelter in leaf piles and plant debris. When we cut everything back too soon, we're basically evicting them. So I leave it. The stems, the seed heads, the imperfect leaves, it might look like a hot mess, but it's actually helpful. The payoff? more beneficial insects next spring, better pollination, and healthier balance in the garden overall. Otherwise, nature can handle the rest. I'd love to know what's still looking good in your garden right now. Are you leaving it a little wild, or have you already done your big cleanup? Let me know in the comments. I get so many great ideas from this community. And if you enjoy this kind of real-world Pacific Northwest gardening, please subscribe. You know, it really helps this channel grow. Check out what I've got growing here. This beautiful sword fern will stay green most of the winter, and there's a planter there that I just put some bulbs in not too long ago. But look, I've even got Brunner there with light-colored leaves, and that beautiful topiary, that's an evergreen too. I still think this looks great. No, every year around this time, I look out at my so-called hot mess and think, well, it doesn't really look too bad. There's always a few standouts, no matter how much the rest of the garden looks chaotic. You know, a few years back, I made what I thought was a responsible gardener move. So I cleaned everything up nice and tidy in late October, and I felt pretty accomplished about what I had done. Then the winter hit. The garden looked flat and lifeless, and by spring, I realized I'd wiped out more than just dead stems. The beneficial insects that actually overwinter in the hollow stalks were gone. The birds that pick through the seed heads, well, they didn't show up either. I think I learned my lesson. Now I just let things be a little messy until late winter. Those dried coneflower heads and ornamental grasses actually have a purpose. They shelter pollinators, feed the birds, and add just enough texture to keep the garden interesting when the rain sets in. So if your garden's looking a little messy right now, don't necessarily rush to tidy it. You can be assured that the bees, the birds, and all the little beneficials will thank you come spring. If you're a seasoned gardener or a new gardener, make certain that you take note of what plants are actually alive in November. You can do this by documenting it in a garden diary, taking photos, or using video. That way you can be reminded from year to year which plants are actually thriving at what time of the year, long after the annuals have died back. So yes, my garden might look a little wild right now, but that's the point. It's full of life and structure and promise for spring. Gardening with the seasons instead of going against them takes patience, but it's worth it. I hope you've been inspired by this video. I hope you're having a great gardening day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.